Welcome to Strong, Happy, Healthy Love podcast. Today we've got a good friend of mine from the Army, Denton Paterson. Welcome, Denton. Thanks for coming on the show, bro. Been a while, man.
Yeah, it's been a while, bro.
Good to catch up. Good to see you again, my man. And here in person, mate. How cool's this?
Yeah, we're nearly neighbours, bro.
Yeah, very close indeed. So, growing up, we're going to talk about a little bit about your growing up and time in the Army, and then what we've done during the Army, and then a bit of stuff after the Army. So, we might as well start at the start. You had 2 life goals. What were they, mate?
Yeah, man, I always wanted to be in the Army, and after watching American Ninja with my cousin, I always wanted to be a ninja.
Yeah, nice one.
Yeah, I thought that's pretty cool.
Yep.
Well, I joined in '93, but building up, like my granddad was in World War II, so
cool.
And I was one of the only kids or even people in the family that he would talk to about the war. Obviously nothing weird or anything, but you know, he used to talk to me about it. I used to remember sitting there talking to him about the war and everything. Always wanted to be in the Army, and even my mum tells stories to people these days of me trying to sneak up on them in pajamas and stuff that look like dirt, and always wanted to be in the Army. And then, when I watched American Ninja with my cousin, and I thought, man, I want to be a ninja. So, ended up, there's obviously no ninja schools where I was. I grew up in the country.
Yep. Which town was that? It's North or South Island?
So, Central Otago, New Zealand.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Yeah, we weren't a rich family. We were pretty poor, to be honest.
Yep.
Mum and Dad worked a lot. They were away a lot. So, you know, I had a lot of jobs to do. We had animals to feed. There's snow and all that kind of stuff. So, it was a pretty interesting childhood. I was a little, I don't know if I'm allowed to swear, but I was a little shit.
You can swear on this show, mate. It's not for kids.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I was a little shit as a teenager.
Yeah.
Very quiet and shy as a young person, but
yeah,
I was a little shit as a teenager. And that's where like karate helped. That I because mum and dad knew I wanted to do this side of things, and karate was the only thing around at the time.
Yeah, right.
And so I joined this karate club and never looked back. Yeah.
Yeah, wow. So you've done the karate stuff before you joined the Army?
Yeah, so I've been training since I was like 10 years old.
Oh, wow. Awesome, mate. Cool.
Yeah, and grew up hunting in that as well.
Yeah.
Had my horses, dogs, rifles.
Yeah.
No games back then, it was real.
Yeah. Oh, awesome, mate. And then the Army, when did all that happen, and what was the process with that?
Well, it's interesting because one of my mates, Jaden, he actually went off to join. We had to do recruiting out of Alexandria. And so I went along for the ride just to see what it looked like.
Yeah.
And he ended up, he joined and became an engineer. And he's one of my best mates at school. But he was unfortunately killed by a train a couple of years later.
Yeah.
But so I went up there, and then a couple of years later, or a year or so later, I think about a year later, after going up to Alexandria, I decided, I'm doing it. So I went there, and it took a bit because they talked about me having flat feet, so I had to go to doctors and all sorts of stuff.
Oh, right.
And then, 10 months it took to get the final tick in the box to go. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. And how old were you then?
Jeez. That was 93. 93 I joined, so I was probably about 18.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, that's a few years before me. I was 97 when I joined the Army, so yeah, you would have got a few tours out of that as well. So.
Yeah, so I joined in 93, obviously went through core training and everything. 95 came around, and all the dudes had gone off to Bosnia. So the battalion, there's a company level Kilo 1 or 2, went off to Bosnia, and they had no one in recon platoon, so they offered who wants to come to recon. They'd done like a mini selection interviews and all that kind of stuff, and I thought, bloody hell, I'll give it a go. My section commander, he was an awesome dude, one of the top trackers in the battalion, even if not in the Army. He nominated me.
Yep.
Because I was a scout, and I went through and going, man, I'm never going to get in this thing, but because there's so many senior soldiers still going for it.
Yeah.
And I was fortunate enough to get through.
Oh, good on you.
I remember one of my interview bloody questions, one of the corporals, he turns around and he goes, his only question was, what beer do you drink? And at the time I said it was Lion Red, and he goes, urine. So
cool.
went to a recon platoon, and man, I had a good time. My platoon sergeant at the time, during when you're doing recon patrol procedures back in the day, it was 6 weeks long.
Yeah, wow. Yeah.
So it was awesome, and it was a massive eye opener for me. The drills and skills that all the instructors taught us were above anything I've ever learnt before, so I was buzzing the whole way through.
Yeah.
And really good instructors. Our platoon sergeant was on fire. I'm still good friends with all of them to this day, which was really cool.
Yeah.
But so I made it through the selection. There's a lot of good men that come through on that one. Yeah, one of them ended up, he couldn't, one of the guys with me, he didn't get into the platoon at the time, and because he had a back injury, but he ended up being one of the top mountaineers in the SAS, which is really cool.
Yeah, wow, good on him. Yeah, awesome.
Because back in the day, you had to be para-qualified.
Right.
So you had to be para-fit, and
Yep.
if you got injuries, you couldn't do it.
Yeah.
So yeah, during going into recon from there, you obviously go into parachute course, which is, I loved that. And
yeah, so you went up north for that?
Yeah, for North Point.
Yep.
Ice cream machines in the mess is outstanding.
Yeah, awesome.
At that stage, I turned 21 on my parachute course.
Yeah.
Along with your old patrol commander, the Racker.
Oh yeah, wow, yeah,
We're 2 weeks apart.
Wow.
So we had a 21st up there. A lot of fun.
Good stuff.
And then on to I've done 2 sniper courses. That's where I first met Len Manning.
Yep.
Was on a sniper's course. I actually set him up on a stalk, and because he was following me in. Yeah, he followed me in, and I was looking at the observers, and I waited for them to look away because I had to crest a hill. I had about 5 meters to just smash over this hill, and he seen me run over the hill, so he thought he could just walk over.
Oh.
And he walked over, and they'd seen me move and looked up, and that's the first person I saw.
Oh, bummer.
Yeah. It's also one of the I think I'd done selection before that too, before the snipers.
Yeah.
Met some good men.
Selection for the SAS?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. All right, tell us a bit about that. Yeah, how did that go?
That's where I first met this other guy, the Grimmer.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, right. Yeah, I know the Grimmer. He's a good man. Yeah.
So we're doing selection, and I remember turning up. We're doing pre-selection. That I was with another really awesome dude. He's done a few podcasts and other things. Jamie.
Yeah.
We were both on the same syndicate together in pre-selection.
Yeah, cool.
I think that's the one he got through on. But the Grimmer, he had no planning. He didn't know anything. He's a cherry. He knew nothing. Didn't research selection at all. Absolute demon. So they ended up giving him some engineer boots. They had steel caps in them and everything. So his weight was going up and up and up because he didn't even have the right kit.
Oh wow!
And on the packing list, and I still remember we got to the swim test on day 1, and the Grimmer we're getting changed, and he's between me and another guy, and he looks at me and goes, "What are we doing?" I says, "The swim test, bro." He goes, "I can't fucking swim." And I was laughing, and then honestly, I'd done our swim, my part, and then we're standing with our backs to the pool at attention.
Yeah.
And I heard this dude just bomb in the pool, and he was choking and coughing for about half an hour, and he was nearly dying. And he comes out, and he's standing up just behind me, and he goes, "Bro, did you hear me?" And I was just, could not hear you. He was just about bloody dying, but he done it.
Oh, wow. And, awesome. Good on him.
Then next time I saw him was on open country selection side down the hills. I thought I could jump this little creek thing, and I didn't make it because our packs are pretty heavy. Then I landed in this bog, it's up to my waist, and he comes running up beside me, and I was going, "Bro, give us a hand." And he just laughed at me, he goes, "Nah, fuck off," and ran off on me. And I was going, "What a jack fella." But that's the Grimmer for you.
Oh, good stuff, mate. And how did you go in selection?
I failed.
Yeah, what happened for
I was running along the side of the hill, and I was wearing high-tech boots, no grip on them. It's a bit misty. I slipped and hit a sheep rut and wrecked my knee.
So medically pulled off it?
Yeah, medically pulled off. I tried to go up a few more times, but they said my hearing was too wrecked.
Yeah.
And they just kept refusing me going up.
Yeah.
Which is funny then, because like during one of those, one of my mates from mortar platoon, deaf as a pope, and he got up. And they let him through, and I'm going, "What the hell?"
Yeah, wow.
He's another bloody good man.
Yeah, good stuff. And after all that, Bosnia, mate.
Yeah, so
what year was that?
So 99. So me and my other mate, we got posted back to a rifle company from recon, which is like, that's gutting. But back as a young fella,
you got to go back at some stage, don't you? Yeah.
As a young fella, you're just like, man, I don't want to do that. But you realise that now, as I've gone through the different ranks in the platoon, it makes sense. But I went back, and then this Bosnia trip popped up. And it was like after all the battalion ones had gone through, all their company level ones, it was just, I think there's 20 of us went over. But I thought I'd put my hand up for it, and I got through onto that one as well. And so I was, what they done is when we went to Bosnia, we spent six weeks in Paderborn in Germany before we went over. So we're attached to a Welsh regiment.
Yeah, wow. What was Germany like?
Oh man, I loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was, I've been there twice now.
Yeah, good on you.
Yeah, I love Germany. It's a nice place.
Yeah.
I could still only speak one phrase, but Yes, good times.
And so that, and then from that was like the staging area, was it?
Yeah, so
Beforehand?
that's where the battalion was based. So in British units, they have battalions based in Germany. That so we went to Sinalago, their main big camp as well, which was awesome, massive training. Like they got tank rangers and everything. It was a massive eye opener.
Yeah.
You go and do your skid training in the Jeep and the Land Rovers and stuff.
Yeah.
They've got these things attached to them that put you into a skid and you got to come out of and stuff.
Yeah.
So you do some really cool training. And because what they've done with us as well is from our groups, they put us to the platoons that we were specialists in.
Mm.
So the DFSW boys went to the DFSW platoon. I went to Recon platoon, which was awesome because we were actually upgraded to the divisional recon platoon in Bosnia.
So you were doing the job over in Bosnia as well?
Yeah,
that's
so
cool, man.
As well as me and the CSM at the time, were the only two that had done the sniper courses.
Yep.
And obviously CSMs don't go out in the job, so I was designated as the platoon sniper, even though I failed my snipers courses.
Yep.
But because I'd done the job, I
Yep.
knew the weapon system, and they put me on as the team sniper.
Yeah, awesome, bro. That's cool. And what sort of things happened over in Bosnia that you some good stories or that you can remember of over there, or some bad stories? Yeah, that you're allowed to talk about, obviously.
Well, yeah. So our main role over there was getting pattern of life for the war criminals, gaining the information about them, taking photos of them without them knowing.
Yeah.
All that kind of stuff, normal recon stuff. But it was at the divisional level, so
Yeah.
it's higher up. So we were supporting UKSF teams.
Yeah,
so
cool.
SBS, SAS. That was really cool. And
Mm.
there's a Kiwi boy over there as well. He'd done both our SAS and UK. So he was there. He's good. Me and him, we had a lot of fun.
Yeah, cool.
But that was actually the first time I got shot at on operations was in Bosnia.
Yeah, right. And what happened there?
I was going to the shower. I just had a towel around me and my rifle.
Yeah.
And it was a common thing. I found out later on that like their camps are getting shot at 2 or 3 times a week.
Yeah,
And it's
wow.
like- so I was walking to the shower. It's just across from my cabin.
Yeah.
And this machine gun just opened up and I was sitting there looking, going, far out. Okay, no one else is doing anything. I was about to dive from the ground and
Yeah,
I
yeah.
would have looked like a right idiot, but yeah, my tail.
Yeah, yeah.
But, yeah, no one was doing anything. Everyone was walking along like it's a normal day.
Yeah, like they're just used to being shot at on a
Yeah.
daily basis, I guess, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
We had a pretty cool bar there as well, like $1 million bar in the place. First, the only operation I've ever been on where you're allowed to drink.
Yeah, right, yeah, yeah. How long did that last?
Oh, it lasted the whole time.
Yeah,
But
cool.
If you got in trouble, you got RSM was a hard man.
Yeah.
He'd kick your ass literally.
Yeah, and you got in a bit of trouble.
Yeah, I got a little bit of trouble. But
Yeah.
that was being a normal Kiwi, but yeah, so we had a lot of fun over there. A lot of interesting things. I still remember coming back from one. We're down in this place called Thomas Lovegrad and been watching some really interesting things. Coming back and one of the Welsh, what are they called, the Warriors, had fallen off a bridge and killed everyone inside. And I remember we called into that camp about a day after it happened. We had a couple of Kiwis in the camp as well. Called in to catch up with them, and one of them come up to me and he was going, Paddy, the Welsh are dead, And I'm like going, bro, this is in the mess. And but honestly, it was an interesting tour. It wasn't the best tour. None of us really liked the Welsh there.
Yeah.
I had a couple of really good mates in there, but they were just their egos, they're arrogant together. It wasn't a good tour.
The people you work with make a big difference to how things go, don't they, sometimes?
Yeah, it does. A lot of things happen over there as well. My partner at the time, she got pregnant to my best mate while I was back home.
Dude. Yeah.
My parents broke up as well. So it was a pretty weird time. I think that's probably the first time I saw someone die over there as well.
Yeah, wow.
And it wasn't even a combat role.
Yeah. What happened?
It was a girl. She was heading off to leave, and she ran into the back rotor of a helicopter.
Oh, that's not the nicest thing you'd want to see either for the first time either. I could imagine that would have been a bit messy.
Yeah, very messy.
Yeah.
But you were like, whoa, because everyone was yelling at her, stop. She just didn't stop.
Just, oblivious to it, eh?
Yeah.
Wow, poor thing.
But it was a very interesting tour, a real eye-opener. I love learning the language. I spent a lot of time out in these little kiosks outside the camp with all the locals that were selling CDs at the time. And, I'd hang out with them if we weren't out in jobs. I was learning the language from them. So I got pretty good at it at the time. Slivovitz it's another experience.
Yeah.
It's local plum wine. It's nasty. But yeah, going back to that, getting in trouble over there. So it was freezing cold.
Yeah.
It was like sometimes it was minus 57 wind chill factors.
Wow.
We're doing subsurface OPs in snow caves. And New Zealand Army didn't have the kit.
I found out that when I was in the army as well. That,
Yeah.
I heard the kit's getting a bit better these days,
Oh,
but
yes,
I
it's pretty
think
good.
back then it wouldn't have been too
No.
flash. So
No, it
yeah,
was
tell
pretty
us.
bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, so our Q store, our Kiwi, our CQ at the time, he thought his shelves are supposed to look good because they're full, but realistically he didn't hand out any warm gear, cold weather gear to any of the team.
Yeah.
So we're going in a pinching shit as you do.
Yeah.
As
To make
Kiwis.
do. Yeah.
Everyone was.
Yeah.
Everyone was, and this one young fella got caught.
Yeah.
And he knocked on everyone.
Mm.
And being a Kiwi, our SNO, he decided to make a example of me,
Yeah.
and he sent me home and sent me to cells for a month.
Yeah. Wow. So you're under arrest over there
Yeah. So I was on lockdown over there as well.
for stealing warm clothes.
Yeah, for trying to keep warm, trying to survive.
Yeah. Crazy, man.
It was over the New Year period as well, and it's kind of weird because there was open arrest, or not. It was kind of open arrest. I was in it was actually in my mate's cabin. I was stuck in there, wasn't allowed to leave.
Yeah.
Food got brought to me and everything, but being New Year's, I actually had one of my mates scored me a beer.
Nice.
Brought it up to me.
Yeah. Good work.
But then I got sent home, sent to cells for a month. The other dudes in country, they just got separated and sent to different platoons in country.
Yeah.
And that's all the Welsh guys.
Yep.
So I was happy. I went to spend a month in the cells. The guy opposite me, oh my god, he's an artillery guy, and he kept getting us in trouble because he kept laughing all the time and doing naughty shit.
Yeah.
But I actually snuck a photo because I had all my gear. Like I come straight off the plane, straight in, so all my gear was stuck in the storeroom where all the chemicals and everything were.
Yeah.
Cleaning, so I snuck my camera and we took photos and stuff as well.
Oh wow! Yeah, have you still got the photos?
Yeah.
Yeah, good stuff. Oh,
But,
good stuff.
No, it was interesting, but that's when the build up for Timor was going on.
Yeah. Okay.
For everyone going over on Bat 2.
That too. Yeah. Right. And core training.
So what happened is all the guys getting ready for Bat 2 were doing all the build up training. I was attached to Delta Company at the time. Being in the cells, you still got to be attached to a platoon.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
So I was reverted back to Delta Company, my CSM at the time, an ex-SAS man.
Yep.
I think everyone will probably know.
Yeah.
He's the break glass in case of war type person.
Oh yes. Yep.
An outstanding man. But he would come in almost every second day into the cells, even though you're not allowed visitors for the first 2 weeks. He was coming in every day. He told them no. I want him. He's trying to get me over right till day dot, trying to get me to go straight from Bosnia to Timor.
Yeah.
And so because he goes, in his words, we're got a brand new company. I don't trust anyone. I want you as my SIG. And
Yep.
he's giving me int updates every day.
Yep.
And but the funniest thing, like even in the cells, you're always trying to do those little things to get that betterment over the staff.
Yep.
I remember because they were all slow. We outrun them back from Rowley one day, and they were like a half an hour behind us all.
Yeah.
Even then, like changing the clock because they always turn the clock off on the microwave in the kitchen. So at 6 o'clock every night while we're doing the dishes, someone would set the clock. So we had that POW training. You knew the time.
Yeah.
So you'd have that little victory, and then take a day or two, and then they click onto it again.
Yeah.
So little victories. But yeah, so then
Kiwi ingenuity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always got to be trying stuff.
Yeah.
Got out of the cells. Obviously, things weren't good at home. So I moved into the barracks.
Yep.
Because my partner at the time, she'd got pregnant to my best mate.
Yeah.
We had a kid at that stage as well.
Yeah. Wow. Oh, that sucks, man.
So I was in the barracks, and I was taking core trainings, and because everyone had gone over to Timor.
Yeah. Right.
And that's where I first met Luke Tamatea.
Yes.
Rest in peace, Luke.
Yeah. Rest in peace. All right.
He was he was a character on core training. Yeah. There's some funny stories about him. Like I remember patrolling along Tekabo, cold as hell, and that's where I first also met the young lieutenant, who ended up going through. We followed our career path right through, same companies almost all the time.
Oh, good stuff. Yeah.
Right through till the day I left.
Yeah. Wow.
He's a good man.
Yeah.
Fiery man.
Yep.
A redhead.
Yeah.
Might narrow it down for a few people.
Yeah.
But he's a good man, really good man. Got on really well with him. But I still remember that day where the last terminal task for the core training. I think Metcalf was on that.
Oh yeah,
he was on that core training too.
He's been on the podcast. He was
he was
episode 1, season 2.
Yeah, man. He was on that core training.
Yeah, wow.
And I'm pretty sure it was that one. But yeah, and I remember the ambush. We'd done a live firing ambush. No, blank firing ambush. Can't have been live because the enemy party were there. They would have been, been weird. But yeah, so we finished this ambush, and we're doing the clearing patrol. You know, come through and do the clearing.
Yep.
Luke was obviously my scout at the time, and then one of the enemy party called me aside, and he goes, "Have you heard?" I went, "Heard what?" And he goes, "Len's been killed." And I was like, "What the fuck?" And he was like, "Yeah, bro. He's they were ambushed. He was killed." He told me about him, everything, and because he knew I knew Len quite well. And then I went back into the harbour area, continuing the task, and I saw him walking past Luke, and he looks at me and goes, "Corp, are you alright?" I went, "Yeah, I'm good." And he's like, "What's happened?" Like, "One of the boys just been killed in Timor." And he's going, and you can see the switch in him.
Yeah, it makes it all real, very quickly, doesn't it? This, yeah.
Yeah, that changed him, I think. Just seeing that, the reality of it. So we finished up core training and all that. And I met Luke quite a few times through my career. He ended up going up to, I think he went to 1 battalion after core training, but then he did come back to us. I've taken him through his trackers, recon patrol procedures, sniper supervisor courses and stuff. So me and him, we've crossed paths all our lives as well.
Yeah.
Once he got in.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was quite a reality check as well.
Yeah,
so
it was. And
yeah, you boys were all over there at the time.
Yeah, like even for myself, I'll never forget that day, you know, and anybody who was serving around then, you know, it was the first Kiwi soldier killed in combat since the Vietnam War, so it really hit home throughout the whole country, and even for the civilian population. I remember when it happened, we were all deployed and we didn't get a chance to talk on the sat phones for a good number of weeks. So back in New Zealand, because there wasn't names released, my parents even expressed like, "Oh, we didn't even know who it was or who it was for a long time." So yeah,
even for us, because cell phones had only just come into line at that stage. So yeah, I just remember, I think it's while I was taking core training, so I got my first cell phone.
Yeah.
And it was like, man, that was kind of weird. And you had no internet on it. That was just to be able to ring people and text.
Yeah, that's right. The communication was a lot different back then. I think on BAT 2, we were writing letters home, you know, and BAT 5 was computers sending emails.
Yeah, Mum still got my letters from when I was in Bosnia. And it's it's interesting like that. But we went to, that was the interesting thing as well. Like the core training march out, I actually missed the march out for Tama's march out because we went up to Len's funeral.
Right.
Me and the platoon commander and a whole bunch of us went up there for it.
Yep.
I remember we came back that night and they're having their core training piss up, and we missed that as well, the main part.
Yep.
All the boys were in town, so me and the boss we got changed and we're like, "Oh, let's get a taxi into town and we'll catch up with the boys." Oh my god, we walked into the first pub and next minute we're in a scrap. And I was like, how the hell did that happen? Like, there's just some dickhead civvy being a dickhead, pushing people around, and I guess the moment of the day pushed the boss the wrong way. The boss cracked him, and it was just all on.
All on like Donkey Kong.
Yeah, it was just a bad day for people to be doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
and the bouncers kicked the other dudes out because they started it.
Yep.
And we're sitting there, and then I still remember they were like, "You guys can stay, but you've got to change your shirt." I looked at the boss and he had a white shirt on, it was just covered in blood. And I was like, "Yeah, sir, have my shirt," because I had a spare shirt.
Yeah.
Like a t-shirt and a collar, because back in the day you had to wear collar shirts to get in clubs.
Yeah, that's right, I remember. Yeah, collared shirts and yeah.
So they let me have a t-shirt and him have my shirt, just to, but yeah, then we met up with the boys and from it was a good night.
Yeah, awesome. And back to Timor.
Yeah, so after core trainings and that, I was lucky enough to be...
back to recon as well. Yeah.
I was promoted to Lance Corporal and sent back to recon platoon. And that's where you're in the same platoon at the time.
Yeah, mate, that's where we connected. Yeah, choice, man.
So, yeah, that was recon platoon back 5.
Yep, back 5.
Yep. It was an awesome platoon. We had some interesting times there. My patrol commander at the time was actually Len's patrol commander when he was killed.
Yeah.
So we had a few dudes in our platoon at the time that were in that crew.
Yeah.
Awesome lads, really awesome lads. Yeah, my patrol commander, he was away a fair bit during that time for the trials for Len. Our patrol was actually a designated tracking team.
Yeah, cool. Yeah,
because we'd done our tracking courses prior to going over.
Yeah, I think our patrol was the flip side to your one. Our patrol was a tracking team as well.
A tracking team, but your team was also the snipers.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, had a hell of a team. Yeah, two of those men still serving their community very well.
Yeah.
Bloody awesome buggers.
Yeah.
My patrol, one of them. Yeah, he's serving the community still to this day. We had a good team, a really good team. Our SIG went off to do great things as well.
Yep.
And man, he's a character.
Yep.
Dunedin boy, good Southern boy. But yeah, what a character that man is. He's involved in some interesting actions. Directly involved with Woody Api out as VC.
Yep.
Outstanding man. What a character. That's what I can say about that man. Yeah,
there's recon platoon seems to be like the stepping stone to other things in the forces of that sort of teeth arm corps and special forces and tactical type
at the time
roles,
I was doing
doesn't
selection, it? Our platoon had the highest pass rate of any of during the 90s. We had the highest pass rate into SAS at the time. Yeah,
awesome.
A lot of good men went there.
Yeah.
Like I think in my first photo of in 95, my first picture in recon platoon, I think there's only about one person that didn't do selection.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, so a major sort of turning point. And then as your career progressed, you section commanders and junior NCOs and stuff like that, these courses and things you moved on to. Is that on return from BAT 5?
Yeah, no, because I used to have to calibrate all the patrols and that, see who was doing what and everything. Like, a lot of you guys went out for longer times, but we actually done more patrols. Those were like day tasks.
Day tasks. Yeah.
Which is interesting, like tracking tasks. We go out and confirm sign, there's nothing, come back.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was an interesting tour. Not my favourite.
Yeah.
But I love being in Timor.
It was. I love the country as well. I thought it was great. I've always find, even BAT 2 and BAT 5, I found I like the jungle and the tropics and stuff like that. So I found a certain. I like being in the nature and stuff like that. Too. I prefer to be in the bush than the desert, personally.
Yeah, me too. I've got a pretty good tan and pretty good at volleyball too.
Yeah, that's right. Volleyball. Yeah, we had some good volleyball teams going on, eh?
We won the competition, so you know.
Yeah, did too.
Not bad for a short fella.
Yeah.
But yeah, I still remember actually the handover for BAT 6 came in.
Yep.
And the Grimmer again came back.
Oh, right. He's been thrown under the bus today, that's for sure.
Oh, he had to. He's the one that nominated for me for this, wasn't he?
Yes, he was. Yeah, he's like, get that Ninja Patty on the podcast. And I said, all right, then, I'll give it a go.
He's a good man, Grimmer.
He is, top man.
He was sitting there reading this.
Yeah, we all went over there with a bit of a beer belly and white pasty, and then we all left ripped and brown.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, at that time as well, I come back from there, and I was into Bravo Company. And, outstanding CSM, and I know he won't mind me saying his name. Was Some Major Godsmark.
Good man. Yep.
What a legend. But I was doing a lot of fighting at the time too, so I was back into Kyokushin Karate.
Yep.
I was fighting, doing nationals and all that kind of stuff, and I was just loving it. Like, he was probably one of the best CSMs I've ever had. Real genuine dude. Really supportive of everything, of all the boys, but a hard man.
Yeah.
If you messed up, in your belt.
And that's when you were doing section commanders and all that sort of stuff, was it? Or
so I went on to my section commander course prior to going over to we'll go back a little bit. So Timor, the build-up training for Timor.
Yeah.
We were doing our live firing package, and I still remember our SIGs had got a TV somehow rigged up so they could do it out in the bush and watch TV.
Oh yeah.
And I remember going up for breakfast in the morning, and next minute one of the boys is going, the Twin Towers have been hit by a plane.
Oh, that's
right. And at the time, I didn't even know what the fuck the Twin Towers were. And I remember this feeling come over me, and I was like, fuck, we're going to war after this. And I said, we're going somewhere else after this. And he's going, nah. I'm like, here we are. And so sure enough, back from BAT 5 into Bravo Company, into section commanders. That was a tough course, but we had so many awesome people on it. Absolute legends. Yeah. So I done my junior series just prior to that as well.
Yeah.
And that's where I met another really good man, Neroy McGregor.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Neroy.
Yeah, rest in peace for him too. He was on my intake when I joined the army. Yeah.
Outstanding
good man. Yeah.
But the funny thing is,
natural born leader, that bloke.
Yeah. Before I met him, all I thought of him was this rugby head. And I thought, who's this rugby? I didn't even really see him on the crossover bat 6, because he come in to crossover with Grimmer and all that.
Yeah.
I never really met him because I just thought, who's this rugby player? That's because he's outstanding at rugby. And but we were stuck in the same room on our junior NCO course. Fuck me, I've never drunk so much beer in my life.
Oh,
and had so many laughs.
He could put him away.
Oh,
yeah.
We had so many laughs. It was great.
Yeah, great bloke, eh? Yeah.
And then we went on to the section commanders together. All those dudes, everyone, we're all kind of linked together the whole way through our promotion courses. And but that was a pretty tough course. Yeah, and I still remember we just come back from the 23 days underground where you do the digging phase.
Yep. Yeah. And
Godsey comes up to me and goes, "Hey, Paddy, someone's because I had one of those steel lockers that was they were wooden lockers that were really hard to come by." And he goes, "Paddy, someone's some fuckers pinched your locker." And I was going, "Hey." He goes, "Yeah, but they've replaced it with a really good aluminium one. They've transferred all your kit over as well."
Oh, yeah.
And it's going, "It wouldn't be my son major, would it?" He goes, "What the fuck are you trying to say?" Yeah, he pinched my bloody locker. But it didn't bother me because about a month later, we were off to Afghan on Crib 2.
Yeah, right. So what year was this now? When did this all happen?
This was 2003. So 2003, we were the second team in.
Yep.
So in our green.
Was that the first deployment of the Kiwi soldiers going over there? Or?
Second.
Okay.
Second.
All right. So there was a little bit of a base established when you got there.
Yeah, not much though, to be honest. And once again, those same boys from our recon platoon that were in Crib 1.
Yep.
They'd set up the Northern AO and they recommended they were pushing through for me to go. So when we'd done a handover, they go, "Yeah, bro, we got you the Northern AO. That's the best one to be in."
Yep.
And it's the most active, and it's like, there's even a town called we nicknamed Tombstone.
Yeah, wow.
It was just like it was the Wild West, man.
Yeah.
So we got over. We were in Kyrgyzstan to start with for 6 weeks.
What's Kyrgyzstan like?
Cold. It was the spot in Russia.
Yeah.
It's just reminded me of Bosnia.
Yeah. Okay.
Not long after we left there to go into thing, they had the big riots and stuff over there as well.
Oh wow.
So yeah, that was interesting. But into Afghan, it was an awesome tour. Lots of interesting things happened over there. We were in the Northern AO, which was the most dodgy. We're up there in unarmoured Hiluxes.
Yeah,
Looked
wow.
like Mad Max. We'd rigged up machine guns on the roll bars and stuff, and they were awesome trucks. Awesome team to go over with. My section were all good. My 2IC, man, couldn't speak more highly of him. Old Tails, rest in peace. Another one gone. He ended up in the commandos.
Right.
Had an training accident and passed away.
Oh, shit.
An outstanding man as well. Just a great patrol. We it was very basic over there. Like at the time, we had no electricity.
Wow. Yeah.
We showered out of a jerry can it was winter.
Yeah.
So we're up in the bottom of the Hindu Kush, and so imagine that in the mountains, and you've got like a jerry can, and you're just tipping it over you basically.
Yeah, freezing.
Yeah, it was pretty chilly.
Yeah.
Had some good times.
Big difference to East Timor.
Yeah. But even just seeing the stuff the Americans had. Like, Kabul, Bagram base was still getting built.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
There was hardly anything there, but I remember driving through it, and the first thing they're setting up is like a Burger King and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And you can see that all getting set up before half of this.
The Yanks have got all that stuff, eh?
Yeah, we didn't get too much time there. I actually spent a lot of time out because at the time it was so cold. A lot of mines. You're driving like I think it took us 17 hours to get to our fob.
Yeah.
Each time, so we'd stay out for weeks and weeks and weeks on end before we come back and resup. Got to call in some bombs from a plane.
Right. Yeah, cool. Yeah, awesome.
I learned a lot of stuff through our diver.
Yeah.
Blowing stuff up.
Yeah.
I had a lot of fun blowing a lot of things up.
Yeah. Cool, man.
It's just lots of hearts and minds type stuff.
Yeah.
Gaining pattern life information on the places. It was a really good tour. I really enjoyed it.
And how long was that for?
6 months.
Yeah, cool.
And that's where a sergeant major like Godsey sold it.
Yeah.
Like, we'd come in after like 4 or 5 weeks out in the ground. Still had to shave and everything, but you're in rag order. You're coming in, and I still remember like Godsey would be sitting there, like he'd have a waiting party there, and you'd come off and you just basically they'd take all your heavy weapons off, they'd clear your vehicles, the mechanics would take your vehicles away. You're just in there, right? Go shower, go shave. You get up there, even if it was like 2 a.m, there'd be a feed waiting for you in the mess, hot feed. and you're just like, and that's the difference, you know.
Yeah,
And,
yeah. Food and like good people working with good people and good food. That's morale right there, isn't it?
Outstanding leadership, you know.
And yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, no, we had a really good team. Some really funny things happened, but yeah.
Good tour. You came back to recon, is that right?
Yes, I come back. I actually, this is where it stopped a lot of people. I was probably the one that caused a lot of people a lot of issues with leave. After Afghan, because I'd been doing so many courses back to back prior to going. Then that trip, so you got the post-tour leave. I had like 6 months leave I took, paid. And
that's a good holiday, bro.
Yeah,
milk that
like
one,
massive.
man.
I had so much leave and I think that's another reason, you know, my whole relationship broke down, because I'd just been away. So from basically 99 to coming back, you know, I was never home.
Yeah. Always away. Yeah.
Even that whole period right up till 2011, basically, I was never home. I was always away doing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So it was really hard to keep. I couldn't keep a relationship, basically. They all just fell to bits. Never home.
Yeah.
But yeah, I came back and I was fortunate enough after my 6 month leave. I got posted back to Recon Platoon as a patrol commander.
Yeah, nice one. Congratulations.
Yeah. That's awesome. I mean, to be honest, that's the pinnacle of my career.
Yeah.
A Recon Patrol Commander is the best thing I could have ever done. And I loved it. Absolutely loved it. At the time, I was invested in the tracking course. I love tracking. I was sold. I went away and done assisted a couple of courses. Then went away and done the NZSAS tracking course.
Yeah, cool, man.
Loved that. Absolutely loved it. And again, once again, my SIG from Back 2.
Yeah.
Back 2, yeah. Yeah, the same dude, he was on there, made the course. He was funny as shit.
Yeah,
but all those guys on the course, outstanding course. It's the same procedures, but the guys taking you on the course, like the top trackers in the world are running that course.
Yeah.
And it was so good. Learnt so much. We even got a live pursuit on it. A guy had gone missing hunting.
Yeah.
And police had been looking for him for days. We found him within 2 hours.
Yeah, wow. And,
yeah, he was passed away, unfortunately, but that was it was a good exercise.
In the bush, was he?
Yep.
Lost in the bush, like a hiker or something?
No, he's a hunter.
Oh, hunter. Yeah, wow.
Yeah, he had a heart attack and passed away, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah.
But no, that was a good course into the platoon. Lots of cool things. Yeah.
And then platoon commanders.
Yeah, so when I was at Recon, went after the platoon commanders, and that's where a lot of personality issues popped up.
Right.
For later on in my career. But another great course, learned a lot.
New Caledonia and into the Solomons, mate. So tell us a bit about that.
So I was still a patrol commander in Recon Platoon. Went over to New Caledonia.
What was happening there?
Just an exercise.
Yeah. Okay.
That's where we allocate. What do you call it? Reallocated.
What was it like over there? Because I remember at one stage when I was serving, we had New Caledonian soldiers come and stay at our camp, and we worked closely with them. What was it like actually going over there and seeing where they are trained?
We had some good scraps with them.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's where we also acquired a statue that's still in the platoon to this day.
Oh yeah.
The cock.
Yeah, right.
The statue with the big winger.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where that came from.
Oh, all right.
But I remember going over there and I said to the medics, prior to going, I said, is there any malaria over there? We're going to get the doxy to go over.
Yeah.
And they go, no, there's no malaria over there, only dengue fever. We're like,
Mm.
well, shouldn't we have that anyway? And they go, no, you don't need it.
Yeah.
And then, so we're over there, done the exercise. It was good fun exercise and everything like that. Had a bit of fun over there. Nothing dramatic or anything.
Yeah.
But then the Solomon Islands kicked off while we were there.
Oh, right.
And so we were sent straight from there. So a 2-week exercise turned into a 4-month tour.
Really? So how did that go? Tell him, obviously, I don't know, we with anybody at the time?
Or, the time.
Yeah, what about the other blokes that have wives and, partners and stuff like that back home?
I have no idea.
Yeah, that would have been a tough one. 2 weeks has turned into 4 months.
Yeah, we're the closest group of Kiwis that were to them. So we had to reinforce the rifle company.
Yep.
We based in Rove prison there. We had some fun. We ended up over in there's a little place called White River.
Yeah.
And the Aussies could never get in there. No one could get in there without being, attacked.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
So I was thinking about things because we're still recon. We're there as a recon patrol.
Yep.
And I just like, yeah, I'm going to go on just with my patrol because everyone go in decent numbers. And so the boss is like, what? And this is my plan. I want to go on. And so we went in like 2 in the morning or something, and we just sat at the police station because everyone's asleep.
Yeah.
And, next when the light comes up, and my plan was basically, in my mind, you win the hearts and minds of the community. You do that by the kids.
Yeah.
So basically, the first thing in the morning, kids started coming out as they do, same as Timor, about 5 in the morning. And I just told the boys that we had 2 guys in security and told everyone else, take your gear off, grab a soccer ball, because we were right beside the field. Let's start playing soccer. Sure enough, the kids started coming over. Ended up, adults started coming over and playing soccer.
Yeah,
we ended up staying there for a little bit.
Yeah.
So there we got our intro to that. We got into that little town, the hard part of town to go into. So
Kiwis are renowned for hearts and minds around the world, aren't they?
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, we've got a pretty good name in most conflict zones with the local population, I believe.
Yeah, and on that tour, we also had a bit of sneakies with the rifle company because we found out like you can with the lemonade bottles, if you gather in all the bottles, you take them down to the wharf and you get money back for them. So all the rifle companies would be like, hey, we'll take all your bottles away for you, get rid of your garbage.
Yep.
So we were basically taking their stuff down and getting free drinks.
Yeah, wow.
So it was pretty cool. But then we were sent off to Malaita. So it's another little island off the area, off the main island. We're sent there to try and find the Malaitan Eagle Force. So it's like the bad dudes.
Yep.
And we're based in another police station there.
Yep.
And the Aussies couldn't find them. They were always hiding from the Aussies. We're there about a day or two. Next minute, these dudes come up to us, me and the sentry, and they're going, "Oh, can we see your commander?" And we're going, "Who are you?" And they're like, "Oh, we're the Malaitan Eagle Forces."
Oh, yeah, right.
And I went out the back and I grabbed a platoon sergeant at the time. And, "Hey, bro, we've got the Malaitan Eagle Force here to see us." And he's like, "What?" So yeah, they go, "No, we don't like the Aussies. We want to talk to Kiwis."
Yeah, right. So, yeah. Oh wow, hard case, man.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, gosh.
But it wasn't a very eventful tour. Yeah, but it was good.
And then you came back and Bravo Company, the start of the end or something like that.
Yeah,
Tell us a bit about that.
I come back to Bravo Company. I'd also done a lot of stuff with the Army shooting team and everything.
Yeah, cool.
Our coach was actually the CSM of Bravo Company at the time. Awesome shooting coach, probably the best in the country, and he's outstanding. Yep. But unfortunately, there was a lot of things. We went back to Timor for Gyro 3. So that was a really bad tour. So there was some interesting things that happened there.
Yeah, right. Oh, so you went back to Timor. Yeah.
Yeah, so this was in Dili for the riots and stuff. A man you've been talked about on here again, old Bish, he was there as well.
Yeah, good man. Yep. He was a Karate's patrol commander and my patrol commander. Yeah,
so he was a platoon sergeant over there. I was a sergeant at this time too.
Yep.
So I've been promoted to sergeant. So went there and there was a lot of weird stuff happened over a bet. A lot of it was over a bet. By the end of that tour, that was a bad tour.
Yeah.
Morale wise.
Yeah.
Some funny things happened on it too though, and I guess it's the first time I really got to interact with the locals a lot more. Because obviously being the tracking teams in Timor, you don't. Yeah,
and you've done another trip back to Afghanistan.
Yeah, so after that, as a platoon sergeant, I went back to Afghanistan again.
Wow.
With Bravo Company.
What tour are we up to now since you...
So I think...
5th? Is this the 5th time?
This is my 6th tour.
6th. Wow, good work, man.
So I went back there again as a sergeant.
Yep.
But as a sergeant, then you're a patrol commander.
Yeah.
So I was back to doing the same job I was there doing the first time.
Yeah, nice one.
A lot of things have changed. 7 years. It was great to see the progress in the area.
Yeah.
My AO again was the same place up north.
Yep. So back to the same area.
Yeah. And it's a funny thing. Like you're supposed to have a little bit of an intro to the country. What do you call it when you get used to it and all that.
Yeah.
But we were there the first day and the boss comes up to me, that same boss from the core training, he was our OC at the time.
Yep.
He comes up to me and he goes, "Hey Paddy, you still know the Northern AO?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I still know it." And he goes, "Yeah, well there's an imminent attack due at SHHL police station, can you get up there tonight?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "Yeah, yes we does."
Yep.
So that was a mad rush. We had Blue Force trackers in our trucks to try and learn, we had orders, we had where to load the vehicles, we had to get everything sorted, and we were straight off, we were out there early hours in the morning.
Yeah, wow.
And we went up there and it didn't come to much, but a lot of my young fellas learnt a lot of things, like the cultural things in Afghanistan that most of us in other nations think is bad.
Yeah.
It's accepted. And but yeah, it was great getting up there, and even on that little trip, I ran into the old police chief from the area. He recognised me straight away.
Yeah.
So it was really good to get back in that area. Again, a really, really dodgy area. A lot of things happened while we were there as well. It was really starting to amp up a bit. So, you know, IEDs, complex attacks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. But again, we had armoured vehicles at this stage, and yeah, it was a good.
Yeah, so what you weren't ragtag like your first trip when you're just in soft skins. Now you got armoured vehicles.
Yeah, the Hiluxes had armoured, but they didn't up the motors or the suspension, so that wasn't so great.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's again we had a good command team. We had good sergeants and everything in all the different teams. Again, Neroy.
Yeah, another good man. So it was a really good deployment by the sounds of things.
I had a lot of good times over there. But I still remember, like, we went down to Kabul to pick up some more demolition, so we all took the soft skin vehicles down.
Yeah.
Because we had a fair bit of weight to bring up. And it was a good drive down to Kabul from where we were in Bosnia. And I remember we hit the Tahsil. We actually married up with an armoured crew, like from New Zealand Armoured.
Yeah, okay, yep.
Yes, like the RV procedure I was fuming. Like the RV procedure failed. My guys nearly shot them up. It was that bad.
Yeah.
And then, like, they're driving through town and they're just doing really bad stuff in Kabul.
Yeah.
Stuff like, and I was just about to get out of the, like, we pulled up into Bagram. I was getting out of my truck. I was going to go knock the commander out. And the CCM, he was quick. Because he's the fourth vehicle back behind me.
Yeah.
And by the time I got out of my vehicle, he grabbed me by the scruff of the neck and goes, "Paddy, stay here, look after your men, I'll sort him."
Yeah,
because he knew it was bad drills. But later that day, about an hour or two later, I heard a big explosion. And it happens in Bagram, you hear it quite often. And then that night of the imp brief, American Humvee had gone over an IED and had blown like the turret 40 metres, everyone dead inside.
Yeah, wow.
We'd driven over that IED.
Yeah, right.
So it was planted in the Tahsil.
Yeah.
But obviously they were just waiting for the right target to initiate.
Wanted to hit a US call sign.
Yeah, so it was like, well, imagine what they would have done to our soft skin.
Oh, obliterated it, yeah.
But the funny thing before that patrol, like, I'm not a religious person or anything, but that night, like, we were leaving about 2 in the morning again, like super early in the morning. Our Padre came out, like I was doing my final brief before we left, the battle brief, and the Padre comes out of his hut and he goes, "Paddy, once you finish, come over and talk to the boys." Yeah, no one denies the Padre,
Yeah.
And he's an awesome man. And he got everyone in the circle and we all had to hold hands. And we're just like, the boys look at me and just do it. It's Padre, just do it. And he made us, we done a prayer. And then, that day obviously we drove over that and nothing happened. And so I got back that next day when we got back up to our camp, walked up to Padre and says, "Hey, whatever you doing, Padre, keep it up, mate."
Yeah.
Holy, it was crazy.
Yeah,
that was
definitely, mate. You got to have I've got a bit of faith these days. I didn't really believe in that stuff back in the day, but yeah, I got to sort of believe a wee bit more in things these days. Yeah,
well,
that's cool,
it was an interesting one.
Yeah.
But no, overall, that was a really cool tour.
Yeah,
enjoyed my time down there again.
And then, you come back from Afghanistan and went to combat school. Yeah,
so my CCM called me in before we left, and he goes, there's posting promotions coming up, and he goes, he sold it really well. And it made sense. If I go to combat school into the small arms wing, then I'll come do my 2 years up there in Wairau. And I was thinking, Wairau, geez, who wants to go there? But it's actually really cool when you're posted there. When you're living there, it's different to actually going on course there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he goes, you come back, as a staff sergeant back to battalion. I was going, yeah, cool, that sounds awesome. I'll get some good experience, learn some cool things. So I went to combat school, small arms one, awesome crew there, really good team. Some it's just the experience within the team itself was really, really good. Had a lot of good times up there. That's where I actually went over to the States. The boss called me in. Like, I was actually quite glad
to America.
Yeah, so
with the army.
Yeah.
Cool.
I was glad to actually have gone to the combat school. I was thinking, because every year since about 95 through to that period there, about 2010, I've been overseas every year pretty much. It's getting pretty tired. It had been a busy period. It's a great period to be in the army though. Like, we would go for ops and stuff like that. I never stopped. It was just crazy. I'd come back, be on courses, then on ops. Come back, courses, ops. So it was awesome. But I was getting tired.
Yeah.
And so I'd done the combat school, and then a couple of months into it, boss calls me in his office and he goes, Paddy, you want to go to the States for I can't. It's a fair while, about a month or two. He's sent away there to do the
what a great opportunity.
Yeah, non-lethal weapons course instructor.
Yep.
So you go over there and learn how to use tasers, all the non-lethal weapons, pepper sprays, all the cool stuff.
Yeah.
So you get hit with the tasers, you
Yeah,
get hit with the
yeah.
pepper sprays, do all the unarmed combat side of things.
Yeah, choice.
It was awesome. 40-degree heat though, and getting sprayed with that.
Whereabouts over in the States were you?
So I was in Missouri.
Oh, okay. Yeah, wow.
Yeah, that was pretty cool on the old Route 66.
Yeah, yeah. Was it like the movies?
Oh man, it's so cool. I loved it there.
Yeah,
Loved
choice.
it. Yeah, had a lot of good times over there.
Ah, good stuff, man.
Some really good times. But now, loved it. Tasers suck.
Yeah.
I'd rather be tased than sprayed.
Yeah, yeah. And getting back to the battalion and ended up with 3 RTW. What's that?
Yeah, so this is where everything came to play from earlier on.
Right.
So I was trying to get my posting preference back to battalion.
Yeah.
I knew they were short in numbers. They had corporals running as sergeants, corporals doing CQ jobs. I knew they were short in numbers. I wanted to get back to battalion, and and they're saying there's no room, there's no spots for a sergeant and a staff sergeant, and so they're going, but we can get you to 3 RTW, and to get back to Christchurch, get back to the camp anyway was like, for me that was a link in.
Right,
and
so they were based down there.
Yeah, so I was trying to get back to battalion, and they just weren't letting me. They're saying, no, there's no positions. I said, oh, whatever.
What was the alternative to go up north where there's lots of rules?
Yeah, no, I'm not a guard. I'm not into marching.
Yeah.
Yeah. No disrespect to one battalion. Nah, good bunch, good buggers up there.
Yeah.
They are some really good
Very
fellas.
strict though.
Yeah, not my
Yeah.
thing.
So you managed to get in through back to Christchurch.
Yeah.
Yep.
And obviously, there's still a lot of earthquakes going on back there at the time.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
Yeah. So I was there in 3 RTW, another awesome crew. And,
what is that?
So that's taking the junior NCO, the junior commander courses.
Right.
So Lance Corporals.
Yeah, like an instructing role.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
cool.
And so once again, at an outstanding Sergeant Major, another man probably won't mind me saying his name, Joe Party.
Yep.
Outstanding man, really good. Whole team in that one was awesome. Had a great time the whole period.
Awesome.
But that's when I was like getting to the point, my 20 was in my coming into my 20th year.
Yeah.
And I was like going, there's got to be something. I can't get back to battalion. They're just not letting me. And I was putting my posting preferences, and then I thought about it, and that's when I thought, obviously they're not going to let me. So I need to start pre-thinking, going, what am I going to do? So I actually decided to 717.
Right, yeah.
Just short of my 20, to be honest. I came out a couple of months early.
So just 19 years and a bunch of months, was it?
Yeah, so...
Yeah, wow, almost done your 20, mate. That's cool.
So if I stayed till, I think it's March or April, something like that, I would have done 20. So but I'd just done it at the end of the year, I went out.
Yeah.
So I was probably about 3 or 4 months short.
Yeah.
But it was like, at that point I was looking, going, I want to get out and be young enough still to be retrained.
Yeah.
To be able to go into civvy world.
Yeah.
And be able to do something. So I actually left, and the interesting thing is, my OC at the time was still that same young lieutenant through the OC and everything. And he comes up to me and he's like, "Why are you getting out? I mean, you must be cleared for promotion pretty soon, wouldn't you?" I said, "Sir, you cleared me for promotion about 5 years ago."
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh." And it's like, he's an awesome dude.
Yeah.
But obviously, that was in Back and Brother company. I was cleared for promotion. But everything obviously goes ahead. But
Yeah.
so I left, and I love motorbikes. So.
As sergeant when you left?
Yeah.
Yeah. So just on that, so now you're going to the other side of the green machine. Once a soldier, and we're always still soldiers, but now we're in the civilian world. How was that crossover for you? Because that's 20 years, might as well say 20 years. That's a long time to be in the forces, and I was in for just over 7 years, and I even felt personally that I was very institutionalised in that short amount of time. So after getting out after 20 years, how was that crossover, man?
To be honest, it was interesting. It was hard, real hard, but I think being in second first recon particularly, we were a lot more relaxed. So I think I found that side of things a bit easier. And I hang out with a lot of civilians when I was surfing when in the army.
Yeah.
So I didn't mind that side of things so much, but it was what am I going to do now? And you do miss the brotherhood.
Yeah, the brotherhood was huge for me. It was because they're all still soldiering along, but now you're not soldiering along with them. So it's, you know, as much as you say you're going to keep in contact with them, it's not until they actually maybe leave the military themselves that you start hanging out with them again.
Yeah, and it's tough. And I decided to be a motorbike mechanic.
Yeah.
So I went up to Whangarei. I was seeing my partner at the time lived up there, and so I went off to do a year-long pre-trade course.
Yeah, cool. Good on you, man.
So it's like, going from, you know, what I thought was a good wage back in the day, 45 grand as a sergeant a year, which is, you know, our basics over here come out at 56. That's pretty ridiculous. Really.
Yeah, that was a shock to me when when I got out of the army. I was making more doing furniture removal here in Australia, getting paid cash in the hand, than what I was as a corporal in the battalion.
I went down to being a student, $220 a week.
Yeah, wow.
And it's like, whoa, that's awesome.
Yeah, so you done your motorbike mechanic stuff. Yes. So did you do that as a job once you were qualified?
Yeah, so I come out and then went into a bike shop, and we worked on everything from farm bikes to custom Harleys and everything.
Yeah, cool.
That was really cool. And then I ended up, they couldn't take anyone on like permanently, so I ended up losing that job because they were a new company, so they're still starting out themselves. They hadn't established themselves as deep as most companies.
Yeah.
I ended up breaking up with that partner as well, and then I moved back to Christchurch. Ex-military too. So.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
But it was I don't know. Things were messy at that period.
Yeah.
Things have been really messy for quite a while, and you know, you don't realise it at the time, but looking back now.
Yeah.
So I went back to Christchurch. I mean, Christchurch always drew me home.
Yeah.
And I went back there. At that time, I'd also I joined the Veterans Motorbike Club.
Yes, yes, yep.
I caught up with you down in Christchurch.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I rode with them over here in Australia for a bit. Yeah.
So I caught up with you, and I told you we get pulled up, and we did.
Yeah, we did. And we got pulled up by an ex-soldier as well, I believe, and we all had a photo session. Yeah, that's right.
I told you we couldn't drink though, because that's actually probably, to be honest, the most sober I've been ever is when I was in the motorbike clubs riding bikes.
Yeah, because you've got to get on two wheels, man.
Yeah, you got to be switched on.
Chasing that brotherhood, I think. That was a similar thing for me when I started riding around and joining different organisations and bike clubs and things like that. I was chasing that brotherhood to find people that had the same sort of mind as me, I guess.
Yeah, so I was in Christchurch and I was doing some different jobs. I ended up on a snap-on truck as an assistant. Awesome job. I'm lucky I left my wallet in the truck. There's some expensive tools.
Yeah, right. But,
I went from there. I went into working on a concrete pump.
Yep.
One of the boys, because that was only a trial thing they were doing with snap-on. They were doing one in New Zealand, one over here in Aussie. And that finished, and I was going, what am I going to do now? And one of the boys put me onto a concrete pump. And man, I tell you what, that's the most dangerous job I've ever done.
Yeah, right,
Honestly, that thing nearly killed me a couple of times.
Yeah.
I was on the biggest pump in New Zealand. There's two, one in Christchurch, one in Auckland. And that thing, when those air bubbles go, when they just blow, that's dangerous.
Yeah, wow.
Real dangerous. Long hours. You know, I thought I was on a good wage back then, $20 an hour.
Yep.
It's like, right.
Yeah.
But I was absolutely wrecked. I left on I was actually doing some commercial painting for a while.
Yeah, cool.
And then I come over to Australia.
Yeah, right. Made the big move to Aussie. Yeah. Quite a few Kiwis have come over here, right?
Oh, man, why wouldn't you?
Yeah. The weather's nice and it pays a wee bit more than New Zealand.
Just a wee bit more. I mean, minimum wage, you know.
Yeah.
But I come to Aussie and I was working in a custom Harley shop. And that was awesome. Loved that job.
Yeah,
but,
cool.
Unfortunately, the shop went under. Factory company. Awesome bunch of dudes, but and I met another lady, awesome person, biggest heart in the world.
Yeah.
I actually still work for her to this day.
Yeah, cool, man. Yeah.
Awesome person. We're living on a farm, 40 acres.
Yeah.
We had some foster kids there and everything.
Yeah.
Animals. It was just, And I couldn't have been a nicer person. She's really cool, but I think a lot of my issues from that previous one, I don't trust people, things just, my head wasn't right. I ended up joining a crew called the Disaster Relief Australia, which was back then was Team Rubicon.
Okay.
So it's a disaster relief team, all ex-military people.
Cool.
Majority anyway, or ex-military or emergency services. So went down and helped out with the Black Friday fires down in New South Wales. Actually got a medal for it, which is a legit medal.
Yeah, right. Awesome.
Pretty out of it.
That's cool, man.
Yeah, I ended up in this team. Things weren't good at home.
Yeah.
Just lots of weird shit going on, and nothing intentional. There's no like nasty, nothing. It was just we kind of fell apart.
Yeah.
It was and then so I moved into a place called Springwood.
Yep.
And I was still working in the company at the time.
Yeah.
So what we'd done is, my partner at the time, she used to work a lot with troubled kids in care down in New South Wales. So in 2020, she brought the company from there up to Queensland. So we ended up, started off, like, because I had my blue card and that, I was mowing the lawns one day and they come out and go, hey, can you go look after this kid for half a day? He's been suspended from school. And I was going, oh yeah, sweet ass. I went down and looked after this kid and I never stopped. So I've been in youth work since then.
That's what you're doing now as well?
Yeah, so
good on you, bro.
The company's got huge. It's massive. We started with a couple of kids and a couple of workers. Now we've got over 200 workers, a lot of about 30 odd kids.
Yeah, good on you, bro.
And it's just awesome to watch some of them. I actually caught up with one of them yesterday who's aged out. And so it's good to keep in contact, watching the kids grow and learn. We look after the really hard kids, the ones other companies won't touch.
Yeah, so really
real
children.
complex kids.
Yep.
But like the boss says, every kid needs a chance.
Yeah,
And,
that's awesome, bro. That's really inspiring to hear, man. I think that's
it's so good.
very fulfilling and purposeful, I'd imagine.
Yeah, so I was on the ground for 3 years as a youth worker. I learned a lot. I've learned a lot about myself and how to regulate myself doing that work. And then as well, like now I am doing the housing coordinator role. So I look after the house like a property manager.
Okay.
So I still get to see the kids a lot and work with the kids, but also the adults, the workers. I'm learning a lot. The new generations aren't like us.
No.
And civilians aren't like us.
No. So how did you find, we've talked about this on previous podcasts, working with civilians after working with soldiers?
They are challenging. A lot of these days don't have life skills. They're awesome with technology.
Yeah.
Have no common sense. They don't like, if they get caught out, they don't like being found out.
Yeah.
So
accountability.
There's none. And it's all about them. Everything's about them.
Yep.
There's no team. It's all individual. Anything that suits them. I've had to learn really hard. I've had some good people pull me up a lot because I was really abrupt. And basically, as I was telling them straight, I'm a facts person. If you fucked up, you fucked up.
Yeah.
Obviously wouldn't swear at them or anything like that. I learned that you can't do that in Civvy Street because you end up in front of HR.
Yeah.
I have a couple of times. But I've learned that I've got to reword things, but still. They're hard, but I'm adapting. Yeah. Well,
it's been a long time. So how long have you been out for now? How many years?
I got out in 2013, so
12 years ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's been a journey. I've learned a lot. This company has taught me a lot. Just how to interact with people. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, awesome. And have you got some other hobbies and things you're doing? I see you got this Q-Rat sticker on your water bottle. I'm keen to find out a bit about that. And I've seen on your social media you got a lot to do with karate, a karate school as well at the moment.
Yeah, so I'm going to the martial arts side of things to start with. So I come over here and obviously I'm still doing karate. So originally I didn't start here for a while, but I was doing ninjutsu, which is ninjas. So I achieved my black belt in that in 2018. I went over to New Zealand as well and trained, done a training session with one of the top in the world as well. Half a dojo went over. That's so good. So I'm with the dojo there in Beenleigh under Jamie. So awesome, really cool group.
And what's the name of this karate school called that you're going to at the moment?
It's Bujinkan Nari Dojo. It's up in Beenleigh. Really cool. I haven't been there much this year, which I need to kick up my bum and get
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
It's just been a bit of a hectic year. But also gone back to Kyokushin Karate
Cool.
at Greenstone Karate here in Gold Coast, and Greenstone, half the team are all Kiwis.
Yeah, well, with the name Greenstone gives it away a wee bit, doesn't it?
But
Yeah.
both teams are such a family orientated thing. So that's the type of thing I guess I've been looking for.
Yeah, good on you,
that
man.
family, and it's everyone supports each other. It's just so good.
Yeah.
The people in there, it's
Takes a while to find another organisations after leaving the military that are similar. I think we as soldiers have to calm down a little bit, and then we sort of find, a like-minded group. I think that's really cool. And what's this QRAT? This Queensland Remote Area Tracking. Tell us a bit about that, man. I've been following a little bit, so I've got a little idea, man.
Yeah, so we're a Queensland Remote Area Tracking team. So we're all ex-military trackers. Well, not everyone's a tracker, but basically it's all ex-military guys. If you carry a pack, it's all good. But we're there, it's primarily as trackers to help the police find missing people. It's a great way for us as well to use our skill sets that we've learned in the military that you can't use anywhere else. But we can use that still to serve our community, help people, get people back to their families or give families closure, or even just assist the police with how they shape their searches and stuff like that. It's great for us to get together as well as a team. The military banter comes straight back. It's like, even though I've got a few Kiwis in there now, but the majority are all Aussies, but we're all the same.
Yeah.
We're all the same. We're a great bunch of lads. There's a lot of talent, a lot of humour.
Have you been called out on a few missions to find people missing in the bush?
Yeah, lots.
So it's quite a regular thing?
Yeah, it's been quite lately.
Yeah, touch wood, yeah. I suppose it's exciting that you get to go do your job, but then on the other hand, someone out there could be lost and dead or dying.
Yeah, we've had a lot of interesting cases, which obviously I won't talk about on here, but
we've
had some really good ones. It's just great to be able to help people, help this community.
Yeah, good on you, man. Inspiring. You should be really proud that you're doing that. That's a good way to give back to the community using our soldier skills as well.
Yeah, so if just a little post out there, if anyone's in Gold Coast or Brisbane area wants to come along, can carry a pack, it's all good. Even if you can't carry a pack, we train it once a month. The training was actually yesterday, but
awesome. And what else are you doing at the moment?
Well, it's taken me nearly 50 years, but I got an awesome partner, family. The wee fella, he's a national bloody runner.
Good on you.
The middle girl, she's a fighter. She trains with me.
Yeah.
And the oldest girl, she's got her first job down the road, so that's really cool.
Oh, good stuff.
My other daughter, my biological daughters, one of them's over here. Just had a fourth kid, so my granddad.
Oh wow! Yeah.
Other girl back in New Zealand, she's got a little one as well.
Yeah.
So I've got 5 grandkids.
Sure. So, congratulations. That's so cool, mate.
And I'm still young.
Yeah.
I'm still young.
Still young enough. Yeah. Very cool.
Other than that, I just spend a lot of time training, working, and we're off to Japan. Not next week, the week after.
Yeah.
Most of our dojo is heading over there. And, bit of a training.
Yeah, cool, mate. Oh, that's so cool. With this whole journey, mate, that you've taken me on through this whole podcast has been brilliant, man. Is there anything that you'd like to say to the people watching in regards to anything we've spoken about?
I think I've been really blessed, to be honest. I've joined the army at a really good time.
Yeah.
Lots of activity going on, lots of tours, really good people in there. Lots of good mates, brotherhood that you never get anywhere else. I've got mates all around the world from it. Same with my martial arts career since I was 10 years old. So it's over 40 years now of training.
Yeah.
And I couldn't beat it, even with my health wise. Like, my body's pretty wrecked, but martial arts is keeping me moving, keeping me healthy, both mentally and physically.
Yeah, I think it's important to keep moving, Keep moving and keep the brain moving as well. Keep learning new skills, not get stuck in that rut.
Yeah, and I've just been able to help people. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's so cool, man. Thank you heaps for coming on the show, Paddy. I really appreciate it, man. very inspiring story. A lot of good.
Anyone trouble, did I?
No, a lot of good information there, man.
I'll keep the trouble stories another day.
Yeah, I'll just chop out the parts that shouldn't be there anyway, mate. It's all good. Yeah, but no, absolutely brilliant, mate. And as a way of my appreciation for you coming on the podcast, I'm going to give you one of the strong, happy, healthy love T-shirts that's got that printed on the front of it. It's made out of 100% organic cotton, self-positive talk words there, and 22% of the profits go to ADHD Foundation and Beyond Blue, and all back into the company. So thanks heaps for coming on the show, bro.
Awesome.